Their very names conjure majesty. The Grand Canyon, Corcovado, Banff, and Glacier Bay. These are the greatest national parks in the Americas. From the icy confines of Alaska's Glacier Bay to the verdant rainforest of Costa Rica's Corcovado, from the turquoise lakes of Canada's Banff to the gaping chasm known as the Grand Canyon. Each is a glorious refuge, each a homage to nature's eternal spirit. They are the America's greatest treasures. They are the lands of majesty. Welcome to the ultimate American wilderness. A land where the forces of nature have conspired to create a new frontier. Alaska's Glacier Bay National Park. Raw, uncompromising. This is a park where the last great drama of the Ice Age is still being played out today. Once a barren ice field, Glacier Bay has evolved into a place of towering mountain ranges and still blue waterways. About 20 glaciers etch these mighty peaks. Remarkably, as these glaciers slowly vanish, they create a new world, flourishing with life. Glacier Bay National Park is an Alaskan wonderland of snow and ice that blankets some 3 million acres of land. Its namesake bay is a 65-mile-long icy channel, accessible only by float plane or boat. Glacier Bay's gateway lies at its southern border, aptly named the Icy Strait. In the summer months, this waterway becomes the setting for the park's greatest animal attraction, the humpback whale. Although humpbacks can weigh up to 30 tons when fully grown, these mammals glide with the grace of ballerinas. Aquatic titans, they come to these rich waters to feed on fish and krill. This is a time for rest and relaxation before they begin a 4,000-mile journey to breeding grounds in the Central Pacific. Orcas, or killer whales, also feed in the icy strait. But their diet is very different from their humpback cousins. Hunting in packs, they're among the fiercest carnivores in the sea. When killer whales are on the prowl, the only refuge is dry land. These stellar sea lions are determined to keep off the orca's menu, and the park's rocky shoreline provides them a safe haven. One of the hidden treasures along the icy strait is here at Dundas Bay, home to a variety of wildlife unmatched anywhere else in the park. The native sea otter. The crystal waters of Dundas Bay are a perfect playground for this most inquisitive of animals. And unlike so much of this park, where ice is king, the waters of Dundas Bay have been free from its dominion for almost 200 years. In fact, its abundant vegetation is a magnet for creatures small and large. Black bears have sharp teeth and even sharper claws. But it's grass that forms the staple of their diet. The fertile shores of Dundas Bay attract these robust bears, who peacefully graze alongside hoary marmots. Rare black bears with cinnamon and blue coats sidle up to this salad bar. But when the granddaddy of the bears, the grizzly, shows up, these shores clear out. Grizzlies can be less than pleasant dinner companions and are best viewed from a safe distance. Summer evenings in the park linger well into the night. Long sunsets blaze up to the midnight hour, casting a warm glow against this cathedral of rock and snow. At dawn, we take a bird's-eye view of the breathtaking gulf known as Glacier Bay. A deep-water fjord system, Glacier Bay expands into two massive arms, adjoined by a series of smaller inlets. Yet until very recently, these great channels didn't exist. During the last ice age, the Bay Valley was covered by an ice floe 4,000 feet deep, large enough to bury the city of New York. Where ice once dominated, fertile waters now flow. There is no other place on Earth where a comparable transformation has taken place. But what forces altered this extraordinary land? The answer can be found deep inside the northern reaches of the park. Here, centuries of Arctic snow have been compressed into frozen rivers of hard-packed ice, called glaciers. Over the centuries, gravity has pulled these massive glaciers downward, bulldozing everything in their path. So deep are its crevasses, or cracks, that some could swallow a 15-story building whole. As the glaciers continue to creak and grind their way downhill, their passage seems unstoppable. Then they meet the sea. Here, the march of these austere giants comes to a halt. Boats keep a safe distance from the glaciers, and for good reason. The glacier's leading edge crests some 200 feet above the bay water. Here, the volatile forces of nature collide before our very eyes. When the glaciers tumble into the water, the mighty crash resonates for more than a mile. Natives refer to this spectacle of carving ice as white thunder. Glacier Bay National Park is home to the fastest glacial retreat in human history. Left in its wake, a sea of ice. Some of these infant icebergs are the size of a small house. Locals called them bergy bits. Troublesome to boats, but perfect perches for harbor seals. Retreating glaciers provide more than just a spectacle. They're the beating heart of the park, a source of life and life's renewal. Here in the bay's western arm is a mass of ice called Reed Glacier. Here, too, the ancient process of regeneration is just beginning. After 4,000 years of icy cover, the broken blocks melt, rousing the denuded soil, and life returns to barren earth. Algae and silt lay the groundwork for tall grasses and shrubs. Soon after, glorious Alaskan flowers begin to paint the landscape. Birds are drawn to the newly fertile shores, where they can mate and feed. Larger animals, like these grizzly bears, later take up residence in newly formed meadows. Over time, great forests of Sitka spruce and hemlock trees will rise up from once barren shores. The living proof is here at Bartlett Cove, where once a sheet of ice 300 feet thick stifled the land. Now a thriving temperate rainforest reaches for the sky. The great Scottish naturalist John Muir was one of the first to record the epic struggle between land and ice here at Glacier Bay. When he first explored the bay over a century ago, this inlet was choked with ice. Today, Muir Point, named after him, lies open, freed from nature's icy grip. For Muir, the evolving bay was nature at its finest, and his historic writings forever altered the perception of this forbidding wilderness. He wrote, "Out of all the cold darkness and glacial crushing and grinding comes this warm, abounding beauty and life, to teach us that what we, in our faithless ignorance and fear, call destruction, is creation, finer and finer." Glacier Bay National Park symbolizes the last great American frontier. It is a land of constant change, a place where the spirit of the wilderness lives on. Like some mythic kingdom, Costa Rica's Corcovado National Park is a mist-shrouded jewel. A realm of primeval rainforests cloaking a land of wild secrets. This verdant jungle is impenetrable and mysterious. No roads lead to the park. Journeying by foot is dangerous. Fierce creatures roam its interior. But experiencing Corcovado is worth each and every challenge. Located in an isolated corner of Costa Rica, Corcovado is one of the densest forests anywhere on Earth. A journey into this lost world begins where the jungle rolls out to meet the Pacific Ocean. Today, its 200 square miles are the last great expanse of Pacific rainforest left in Central America. Rugged terrain, dense forest, and sweltering conditions make Corcovado a forbidding land. But lurking around every corner, hidden treasures and dangers abound. Over 400 species of birds and more than 6,000 species of insects thrive within this hothouse. Boasting an immense biodiversity, the flora and fauna of Corcovado provide a visual feast. Most impressive of all the park's attractions are its colossal trees. 40 times taller than the average man, and with buttressed foundations 20 feet in diameter. Espavil trees stand like Gothic columns resting on thin, grainy soil. For most creatures, like this spider monkey, survival in the jungle requires a watchful eye. Concealed by the dense foliage, the forest's cautious creatures rely on nature's green shroud to camouflage their movements. With the exception of these scarlet macaws. These glorious parrots set the forest ablaze and fill the air with their raucous calls. Always paired, these winged rainbows mate for life. But as in any marriage, tensions can run high. Corcovado is a domain that defies human influence. Only the hand of nature governs here. Relentless showers drench the forest. Over 200 inches of rainfall saturate this tropical Eden each year, making Corcovado one of the wettest places on Earth. And after the rain, the jungle buzzes with activity once more. On the forest floor, diligent leaf-cutting ants harvest foliage to fuel their colony. Millions of these little workers form a marching parade of greenery. But for all the hustle and bustle on the jungle floor, the real show is in the rooftops. Here in Corcovado, over 500 species of trees stretch their limbs skyward. These giants reach dizzying heights of up to 200 feet. Corcovado's lofty monarchs make up one of the tallest standing forests in all of the Americas. For centuries, these trees have remained undisturbed by the swing of an axe or the cutting edge of a plow. Their overlapping crowns, woven together by clinging vines, create a glorious canopy that shades the forest floor. The canopy is so plentiful that many creatures rarely leave its embrace. Nearly 2/3 of the animals in the park make these high-rise accommodations their home, including these howler monkeys. They feast on the leaves and use the branches as their highway. Ever on the move, these monkeys define their territory with a chorus of howls. Even in the densest jungle, their bellows can carry for up to a mile. Strict vegetarians, howlers' diets rely exclusively on the canopy's fruits, leaves, and flowers. The high life in the canopy also has an added attraction: safety. Prowlers often lurk beneath the trees, waiting to pounce. But to catch sight of a jaguar is a rare event, even in Corcovado. This dangerous predator has his sights on a group of peccaries. These forest pigs are among the jaguar's favorite prey. Always on the lookout for food, it moves through the forest like a whisper. But the big cat seldom catches its prey. A flash of light in the jungle, and the glitter of a waterfall appears as surprising as the rarest of flowers. From high in the hills, fresh water feeds into a network of streams and rivers that crisscross the landscape below. For this lethargic sloth, crossing these streams can be more arduous than climbing back into the canopy. Canoes and rowing boats often provide the only access to the remotest regions of the park. And without them, this land would still be unexplored. But Corcovado's waterways are not without hazard. American crocodiles linger in river mouths in search of prey. In this land where animals reign supreme, man is only a guest. This mysterious wonderland will not be tamed. Corcovado National Park is one of the planet's last undisturbed treasure troves. It embraces riches that are as countless as grains of sand. Its beauty as boundless as the sea. Canada's Banff National Park is a place of extremes. A park where raw majesty and subtle beauty seem to coexist. A place of uninhabitable mountain ranges and valleys flourishing with wildlife. It is one of the oldest national parks on Earth, and one of the most savage. This is a place where only the wheel of seasons has the power to transform its sprawling wilderness. Banff National Park lies hidden among the towering peaks of the Canadian Rockies. The limestone walls of the surrounding ranges, the Bow, Sawback, and Waputink, can soar into perpetually frozen heights of 10,000 feet and more. Banff, a place of competing worlds, of rugged peaks and fertile valleys. It's a study in contrasts never more vividly drawn than in April, the beginning of the park's short-lived spring. Here at Sunshine Meadows, fireweed, river beauties, and glacial lilies blanket the ground and garnish the banks of waterways that rush with the melt of snow. Sheltered by the mountain's grey embrace, mountain lakes have an unearthly glow. Lake Louise is the crown jewel of the park, a turquoise pool set against a stage of stone. The lake's glow is surreal, but its source is natural. The runoff from Victoria Glacier brings a milky silt into the lake the locals call rock flower. The serene stillness of the water transports both body and spirit. Lake Louise is indeed the magnificent centerpiece of Banff's beauty and majesty. Banff National Park, today a vast 2,500 square mile expanse, was actually founded around a tiny thermal spring. Over a century ago, Banff's hot springs were discovered at the base of Sulphur Mountain. Word quickly spread of the steamy waters nestled in the heart of the Canadian Rockies. Glamorous travelers, stars and dignitaries, kings and queens, would all flock to Banff to enjoy its soothing waters and therapeutic pools. In 1885, Banff was declared a national park. Three years later, in 1888, an elegant resort was created near the site of the springs. Banff Springs Hotel was once the largest hotel in the world. Today, its grandeur endures beneath the mountains, but the hotel walls hold the secret to a strange and mysterious occurrence. Many stories have been told about its celebrated guests, but none is more haunting than the tale of a young bride who died on her wedding night over 75 years ago. Some say she still roams these shadowed halls. Perhaps it is the immortality of the mountains that inspires these mortal imaginings. But with a new day, such somber thoughts are banished. Everywhere there are streams and rivers and waterfalls. They braid the hillsides, rush through rocks, and roar over cataracts. 1,000 miles of trails follow the watercourses that surge through the park. As June approaches, these fertile passages feed the forests and meadows, fueling the cycle of regeneration. The warm summer beckons ground squirrels from their burrows to feast hungrily on fresh shoots of grass. Ever on the alert, they issue frequent warning calls. And there's wisdom in their vigilance. The balmy weather attracts a host of predators. And some, like the cougar, deserve a decent measure of respect. But cougars usually prefer more substantial prey. With their sinewy leap and powerful jaws, a cougar's bite can bring down a moose. Though a full-grown cougar can weigh up to 160 pounds, his grace and agility are remarkable. In September, Banff undergoes a radical transformation. As summer fades and the air chills, autumn's golden hues burst alive from all reaches of the park. Golden larch and aspen trees set the forest aglow. These precious autumn colors are brilliant but fleeting, lasting just a few brief days each year. But the colors aren't the only things changing in Banff. Autumn causes a sudden shift in animal behavior. The bugle calls of lusty bull elk echo across the valley. Their passionate cries signaled the start of the rut, or mating season. Bighorn sheep, like the elk, also have to prove their mettle among the herd. During rut, they compete head-to-head in a joust for supremacy and the right to mate with female spectators. By November, the days shorten and the mercury plummets. Inevitably, the white cloak of winter descends. In the course of a typical winter, more than 10 feet of snow will settle on the park. But for the lucky visitor who can soar above this frosty wilderness, winter in Banff National Park is spectacular. Ice and snow beget a serene, frozen majesty, where the forbidding becomes the beautiful. A winter waltz of crystal and light dances away the short winter days, silently watching and waiting for the warmer months to come. And the coldest winter cannot halt the seasons turning. Even as Mount Rundle disappears into the darkness of a winter's night, the inevitability of spring will bring renewal. Along mountain meadows, millions of daisies stretch skyward in a unified chorus of yellow and green. Their white petals shimmer like a spring bridal bouquet. It is a time of new beginnings in a park of grand traditions. Banff. Here a symphony of nature performs in a cathedral of light. Banff's beauty reveals itself to us, peerless, as the earth stretches eagerly to meet the sky. Beneath the boundless sky of the American Southwest, there is no panorama more inspiring or mysterious than this. The Grand Canyon. Here, erosion has built a gleaming monument of stone. A Gothic cathedral, carved by time, and burnished with the hues of a southwestern palette. Peering into its depths is a reminder of how small man is on this epic stage. But the park isn't all rock. Below its austere facade is a Grand Canyon that few expect. Grand Canyon National Park is located in the northwest corner of Arizona. It encompasses over 1 million acres and is deep enough to consume 2 of the Great Lakes. For centuries, visitors have been drawn, breath held in expectation, to the edge of this abyss. But even with a bird's eye view, the Grand Canyon's depths are unfathomable. Its size, baffling to the human mind. Sprawling for nearly 300 miles, this yawning chasm gapes 18 miles across and plunges a mile into the earth. With its immense stretches of rock face, it's easy to see why the Native Americans called it Kaibab, or mountains lying down. At its heart is its sculptor, the mighty Colorado River. The earliest European explorers, though eager to reach the river, would fail to find a path to the canyon's floor. But Havasupai Indians had been making the trip for centuries. Bright Angel Trail, worn by Indian footsteps, was later improved by prospectors in the 1800s. Today, intrepid mules still navigate its steep, switchback trails. From rim to river, it's a dusty journey of more than 7 miles. A number of other pathways wind through the canyon as well. It takes around 5 hours to hike down and 10 to climb back up. En route, there is no escaping the heat that radiates off the ground as the sun burns overhead. While many of the park's creatures hide during the day, the western diamondback rattlesnake likes to soak in the sun. These trails are dangerous territory. Hundreds of rattlers may be found lurking in a single square mile, and they don't like surprises. With temperatures inside the canyon reaching 120 degrees Fahrenheit, shade is at a premium. Despite the heat of the midday sun, this playful ring-tailed cat ventures from his shelter, but not for long. In this arid habitat, a decent meal is rare. Seeds and insects are the mainstay of desert cuisine here in the park. Bobcats live in all reaches of the canyon and can make do with little shelter. For these young cubs, a rocky overhang or fallen log can provide luxury accommodation. After these cubs reach 8 months old, they'll have to eke out a living on their own. But for now, their mother sees to their needs, and life in the canyon is a walk in the park. Parched, dusty, and fringed by desert scrub, it's difficult to imagine that this dry land was created by water. The power struggle between river and rock began 6 million years ago. Armed with the grinding power of gravel and sand, the Colorado River excavated its way deep into succeeding layers of bedrock. With over 100 rapids, the Colorado is considered one of the roughest navigable rivers in the world. Its surging currents have been known to rip the clothes off unlucky rafters who fall into its clutches. Ultimately, the Colorado's fierce power yields to more restful waterways. In the space of a city block, the river can be transformed from a raging torrent into a placid mirror. Here, water ouzels dance at the river's edge. Also known as dippers, these aquatic songbirds can walk and swim underwater in their search for food. Wherever the river charts its course, life attends it. A multitude of wild grasses, daisies and columbines, bloom and flourish here. In turn, desert bighorn sheep are drawn to the feast, growing at the river's edge. And there are less attractive items on the menu. Prickly pears, squaw grass, and agave complete their diet. Smaller than their Rocky Mountain cousins, desert bighorns are agile, scaling the canyon with ease. A trip down the River Colorado is like a voyage back in time, retracing millions of years of history. Multiple bands of rock form a timeline that reaches deep into the origins of our planet. The oldest rock, polished to a glassy finish, is nearly 2 billion years old. Here, in the chiseled faces of the canyon's walls, are locked the memories of our planet. Ancient tribes who lived in the canyon believed the rocks above them were the deities who guarded their destiny. The river, they believed, would one day lead their people to the promised land. Indeed, the canyon's cool waters are transcendent and nourishing. It's hard for anyone to resist their siren call. John Wesley Powell, early pioneer of the Grand Canyon, once referred to this imperial place as an amphitheater fit for gods. Standing before this awe-inspiring chasm, reality challenges the imagination. Though the human mind can never fully grasp the Grand Canyon's immensity, man will be forever drawn to this gorge, where the spirit of the wilderness lives on forever.